Today I'm going to talk about the recent changes to CPF, specifically the closure of CPF Special Account and what you should avoid doing. Now, I have largely kept quiet on this topic because I think it's really not that big a deal, but after seeing how the internet has reacted to it over the past couple of weeks, I think I should actually point out a few things so that people who watch my videos have an idea what's going on and also what to avoid doing, and know how to react accordingly. For those who have been out of the loop and not sure what's going on, let me summarize the changes that has happened. And the main thing which everybody is up in arms about would be the closure of the CPF Special Account after we reach 55 years old. From 2025 onwards, all special accounts of CPF members 55 years and above will be closed. So if you're already above 55, next year your special account will close, and those turning 55 from 2025 onwards, their special accounts will also close when they reach 55. So effectively from next year onwards, there'll be no more special account for anyone above 55 years old. Subscribe to the Telegram group so you can get timely updates on news like that when they happen, so you can be kept informed. So why are people so upset about this, right? The reason is because the main victim of this closure of SA account after 55 will be this thing called CPF SA Shielding. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, let me explain, right? Currently, when you turn 55, your SA account savings will be used to top up your retirement account that's created when you turn 55. And when you have not enough cash in your SA account, they will then turn to your OA account to top up your retirement account until you hit the full retirement sum. So SA shielding is essentially hiding your SA money when you turn 55 so that the RA actually takes money from your ordinary account instead. And once you hit the full retirement sum in your retirement account, you can then move back your SA money into the special account, which will then earn 4% per annum interest, and you can actually withdraw it anytime you like. So getting 4% per annum interest on these savings without losing liquidity is obviously a very attractive thing to do, which is why quite a few people are actually upset that it's no longer possible from next year onwards. So the first thing that you shouldn't do, I feel, is that you shouldn't overreact to this piece of news because it is no big deal. Now, the reason why I say it's no big deal is because this has all along been a loophole of sorts that people have been exploiting to get higher interest, which is nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think most financial professionals as well as banks and financial planning companies have actually advocated this mechanism because it really does benefit those who have the resources to do so. But loopholes by their nature are loopholes and are bound to be closed once it becomes more prominent and more people make use of these loopholes. In the world of credit card rewards, we have this saying called make hay while the sun shines, and I think that is also true to most things in life that are a bit too good to be true. 4% per annum without losing a liquidity, well, make hay while the sun shines, and for those who have already benefited from this arrangement, right, congrats that you have earned all the interest all this time, and for those who will miss out on this, well, too bad, find the next thing and move on. Also, the removal of SA shielding actually benefits a very small minority of CPF members, and according to the minister, only about 2% of people were actually doing this. And these people will tend to be the wealthier type who can actually afford to top up their CPF beyond FRS amount to be shielded in the first place. At the risk of generalizing, I would say that this segment of people, if you're one of them, right, to reach this amount in your CPF means that you can actually survive pretty well from going from 4% per annum in your special account to just 2.5% in your ordinary account, which isn't that bad. Now, assuming you have your SA at $200,000 shielded and you draw down $2,000 per month for your livelihood, so that will make $24,000 in a year, and we draw it down all the way to zero, right? Your $200,000 can actually provide you with about 9.852 years of income. Now, at 2.5%, right, the same parameters, okay, we are actually looking at 9.2 years. So going from 4% to 2.5% isn't that big a deal, especially if you're actually using your funds for your retirement drawdown. And therefore, the next thing you should avoid doing is to buy bad financial products or go into one hastily because you just want to replace that 4% per annum interest that you're going to lose out on. I can tell you when this shielding loophole was closed, who are the happiest, I would say, would be financial salespeople, agents, bankers, etc. Because now there are going to be a lot of CPF money looking for new places to earn higher interest. Now, I've talked a lot about bad products that you should probably avoid buying, and also things like commissions which create a clash of interest between you and your financial advisor. And those things are even more true now, especially if you're looking for a new place to put your special account funds once your special account is closed. So I don't want this video to be a rehash of all those things, so check out the description box below for links to older content on some things that you should avoid. But I think the general advice would be that, again, Do your due diligence, right? Think about whether or not it's worth taking extra risk, paying more fees, etc. just because you went from 4% per annum to 2.5% per annum. Now, if the drop from 4% to 2.5% really prevents you from retiring, then sure, by all means, take some added risk, go and invest, or go and buy the product that can help you reach your retirement goal. But if the job really doesn't impact your retirement plans that much, do you really need to do something about it? Right? I hope you take some time to really think through it. Now, by now, I hope that it goes without saying that another thing you should avoid doing is to rely on your CPF as your sole retirement tool. I think this is obvious enough, and this instance of CPF rules changing highlights again that we should not completely rely on CPF for our retirement purposes. Even if you reach full retirement sum, which is around 205,000 this year, your estimated payout when you're 65 from CPF Life will be about $1,500 to $1,600. Now, I don't know about your spending habits, but in my opinion, this can only provide for a very basic level of lifestyle and might not be sufficient when Singapore gets increasingly expensive over the years, especially because this payout is based on the standard plan payout and is not inflation adjusted. You could, of course, opt to top up your CPF all the way up to the new ERS, which is 4 times of the basic retirement sum or twice that of FRS. This, of course, requires a certain amount of capital to reach the ERS, and at the same time, you need to worry about your spending requirements from your retirement to the time where CPF Life actually starts paying out. Now, there's also some other problems with ERS as a retirement strategy, and I intend to cover this in a separate piece, so subscribe to my Telegram group to keep updated on this content. Now, note that CPF Life payouts are estimated and are, of course, subject to change. And I'm not saying that the government will change it as and when they want to without reason, but I think CPF has shown itself to be something that indeed changes due to policy shifts or demographic shifts or changes in life expectancy. So it's not a super duper reliable tool for us to bank our retirement on, and I will see it only as a supplement to my retirement. Now, having said that, I think that we also should not ignore CPF as an important part of our retirement planning just because of this change and say that, oh, the goalposts keep changing, I don't want to use CPF anymore. It's such a big part of our financial lives as Singaporeans living here on this island. And even if you're self-employed, right, you still need to contribute to MediSave, you still can use this as a good tax shelter. So I feel that we should not throw the baby out with the bathwater and say that, oh, CPF lousy, let's not touch CPF. Now, I made an older video on why I do not top up my CPF on a voluntary basis on top of my mandatory contributions, and even that has changed because last year I actually made my first top up just to reduce some tax because I've already maxed out other forms of tax relief like SRS. CPF remains a very good tool for me to reduce my tax obligations by doing up to $8,000 of top up for myself and also $8,000 for my loved ones, making a total of $16,000 of worth of tax relief that I can get. And CPF Life is really the best annuity out there, so it hedges against longevity risk like no other instrument can do, as far as I can tell. If you know of a better annuity, let me know in the comments box below. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my view of CPF as a tool, right? Don't rely on it completely, but of course, don't ignore it completely, right? There is really no need to take extremes on either side of this issue. Lastly, I think we should really avoid listening 100% to what influencers say, and that really includes myself. Now, in another video, I talk about the clashes of interest between you and the financial bloggers, financial YouTubers that you read and watch online, and noise is one of them. And I think this incident really shows how influencers like us really love the noise that come as a result of things like, CPF changes. Just in the past 2 weeks alone, you can see shocked face after shocked face appearing on YouTube. And, I didn't really want to make a video on this topic because I thought I was just contributing to the noise, but I do want the views, and here I am at Kelvin's encouragement to make this video, right? So I think you should be aware that some things are not that big a deal. It doesn't really need to warrant so much of your attention and for you to have to do something or feel a sense of FOMO that you're not doing anything, right? Not every change is a big and major change. Now, people who got popular on the topic of CPF will definitely make this seem like very, very big news that you have to keep watching video after video on how to navigate this change. And people in the property niche will of course be saying, you see, shouldn't rely on CPF, you should use your OA and buy property instead. So yeah, all of us have our own vested interest, so you really do need to be aware of it. So yeah, don't listen 100% to influencers, okay, including yours truly, because I made this for views. And yeah, too bad you have reached the end of the video, so you have already watched and followed into my trap. But hey, if you find my content useful, do drop me a like and subscribe to my Telegram group where you can get more updates and great deals also. Don't have to sign up for everything. but I think you will find at least 1 or 2 things that will be of interest to you over the next few weeks. And also check out my video on how I deal with my different CPF accounts, and I'll see you in that video.